Alright, hey, what's up guys? Riley for becominganelectrician.com. If you guys like these videos, be sure to subscribe, or you guys can visit the website and sign up to the email list and be notified when I release new videos and write new articles on the website. In this video, I want to talk about my favorite tape measure as an electrician, and it is a Stanley FATMAX 16-foot tape measure. Now, when you are an electrician, an apprentice electrician, many times your company is going to give you a tool list of the things that you need on the job, and they will say that you want a 25-foot tape measure. This one's a 30-foot. Here in Canada, we also need to have imperial and metric, so inches and meters, or centimeters, right? So I'll talk about that in just a second. So what I suggest is having the Stanley FATMAX, the 16-foot, all right? I just bought this so that I can make this video. This is by far my favorite tape measure, and I'll just take it out of the package. Okay, so the reason I like a 16-foot FATMAX tape measure is, first of all, a FATMAX tape measure has a nice, thick tape measure, okay? You're able to get this out super far without it snapping. Let's just compare these. Okay, so this one is by Husky. It has a magnetic bit, so you can see it has magnets on it. Sometimes that's useful, but sometimes it's annoying because it gets stuck. But you can just see how much thicker the FATMAX is compared to this Husky, right? And so, just in my experience over the years, this Stanley FATMAX 16-foot has been the best tape measure as an electrician. It's light, you know, if you're putting it on your pocket, you know, with a clip or on your tool pouch, it doesn't feel like it's always hanging in. Like this tape measure, this is a 30-foot tape measure. This thing's heavy. Now, what I suggest to you, and this is what many times your company asks for, is you want to have a 25-foot tape measure. This is 30-foot. I just found it on sale, I guess, at the time. But usually what I would do is my big tape measure, I would have that as the imperial and the metric, so which means that this tape measure right here I would have as inches and meters. That way, if the code book is ever saying that we need, you know, millimeters or, you know, meters and stuff like that, this tape measure can be used. So this one's only inches, as you can see. So there's really no difference between this tape measure and this tape measure except just how big it is. All right, so I just want to repeat that one more time. So this is by far my favorite tape measure. So if you're looking for a tape measure out there as an electrician, this is awesome. The reason I like one just for inches is because if you're going to go measure something, it doesn't matter what side you're on. You know, if you're measuring something this way, or if you have to turn the tape measure this way, you're always able to see your inches and, you know, your eighths and sixteenths and all that kind of stuff really nice and easy. That's why I like just inches, okay? But if you ever have to start using meters and stuff like that, you want to also have a tape measure with both imperial and metric, so inches and meters. So as you can see, up top is your inches, and then down below is your centimeters, right? So, you know, if you ever need that stuff. But again, what I would suggest is the big tape measure, have your inches and meters, all right? If you ever need to check out your meters. Also, it's nice to have a big tape measure if you're ever laying out lights on the ground in a far, far way. But this is awesome because for typical even room layout, you know, you're never really going over 12 feet and stuff like that. Now, one last thing I want to say is you never bring this tape measure out into the sand. Okay, so if you're ever having to dig, you know, get a cheap tape measure for the sand. All right, if this thing gets wrecked, you know, maybe it was like 10 bucks. These things are expensive. Sometimes they're like 15, 20, sometimes 30 bucks, especially for the big ones, okay? The next thing is if it gets wet. So if it gets wet, make sure that you are wiping it off just like that. You know, wipe it off on like your pant leg, whatever. Make sure it is not wet, okay? So you're gonna keep cleaning it. And if it is wet, like, you know, sometimes depending on the season, I would just recommend maybe even using this for kind of rough layout if you're having to, you know, measure plugs or measure switches. But then if you're just doing lights, well, you know, typically up in the sky there, up in the roof, it's not too wet. So this is what I recommend in a clean environment and this thing will last you a long time. All right. Again, the Stanley FATMAX, the reason I like them is that they are thick. You're able to get very far. I have never experienced a better tape measure on the job site, and I just want to pass that on to you guys. So I hope you like this video. This was, my favorite tape measure as an electrician. I like this small Stanley 16 foot, just inches. Again, you can measure both sides, nice and easy. Doesn't matter if you're this way or this way. I also suggest having a bigger tape measure when you need it. Again, having the inches and meters. And so if you guys like these videos, and if you guys want to learn more about becoming an apprentice electrician in Canada, check out the website becominganelectrician.com, and you guys can sign up to the email list, and I will notify you when I release new videos and articles. And if you ever have questions, you guys can just leave comments on the website and I'll get back to you. So I hope this helps, and I'll talk to you in the next video.